Got a banana. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Fessler, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Where is Disclosure going? Yes, we've got a war on, so things are going slow, but we're here. We're going to talk about it. Have a great time. We've got a bunch of interesting things to talk about. So until we get things going, let me go ahead and welcome in our audience. As we do at the start of every one of our show. Who the heck do we have out there in the chat? I see a chat. Let's say hey. Amiga Rules is out there along with Andrew Davies. I see Anne Marie and Ash is on air. Long time no see, Ashes. Thanks for coming back. We got Banana Bowie, one of the old guys. He's been around forever. Blown Land Cruiser is out there along with Bradley, and Brennan England's in the chat along with Eliza Teal and Firefly. We got Flavio and Geraldine Durazio and Hypersonic Goo. J-Cat Meow is out there. Good to see you, J-Cat. Kathy and Kelly Broad with those forever piercing blue eyes. Good to see you, my dear lady. We got Megan Betts and Moon at Noon, Mr. Vibrating. Hope you got rechargeable batteries, my friend. Nightshade Giggles out there along with PC Anderson. We got Prism Films US is in the chat along with Push King, Roni Deal, Rob Harrison. Good to see you, Rough Reddy. Sam's out there along with Scooby Dooby Gooby, one of the first guys to come in the chat today, every day, I should say it on that one. Steve Mateo's out there along with Super Unknown in the chat. The Wasteland, Two Midgets on the Horse. We got Wee Beasties and Yellow Tommy Tanker all the way from the United Kingdom. Holy cow, the audience is present and ready. That brings us in to welcome in our dear friend Mikey. How the hell are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. And it seems like with all the geopolitical action going on lately, we're going to have some things to talk about tonight.
Oh, yeah. Not a lot of disclosure stuff.
Wow.
Washington, D.C. is busy.
Right.
You know, we've been checking that, you know, it's like we're looking at Santa Claus's list. We're checking it once, we're checking it twice. We're going to figure out who's been naughty or nice. More importantly, we've been looking at the presidential actions to find out what the fuck is going on. Yeah, I'll drop the F on this one. Where in the hell is our executive order? Well, right. We've got nominations for positions sent to the Senate as far as March 2nd. That's today. We've got National Angel Family Day on February 23rd, going back to imposing a temporary surcharge to address fundamental international payment problems on February 20th. You know what's missing here, Mike, is any kind of a presidential order about disclosure. You know, we've got the war going on at this point, but they've been planning this for months. So they could have, before they pulled the trigger and pressed the button, to get something together, you know? Unless
I agree.
Unless their plan is, you know, Mike, not to do anything.
Right.
Just let me handle it, says Susan Goff. Let Aro handle it. We know exactly what to not give you.
Right. And you and I have been talking like this about the current administration since we dealt with the drone flap and saw what his ultimate response once he took office was. It hasn't really changed from then to now.
What did he say again? I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Right. And they're authorized by the FAA and no cause for alarm. Sure. Didn't say anything.
Oh, that reminds me.
But in his campaign speech, he was saying, well, if I was Biden, I would tell the public everything. And as soon as I get into office, on the first day, that's exactly what I'm going to do if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, no, he didn't. So we've been saying it from then to now.
Oh, yeah.
For good reason.
Okay.
Now, he did the State of the Union, which was one of the longest ones ever done, 2 hours. And he talked about Space Force, but not one word about disclosure in that statement.
Yeah, but he wouldn't, but he didn't talk about the declassification of national secrets. The whole thing they do, bringing MLK, JFK, RFK, bringing out stuff about Amelia Earhart, the Epstein files. They didn't bring in any of that shit, did they? They just kind of took that whole thing and pushed it off the side and focused on, achievements by other people besides the president.
Uh-huh. Which is all that was for over 2 hours. So, yeah, we didn't get what we were expecting to get.
No, I know. Before we get on to some claims about New Jersey and the drones being back, which they're not. God. We got to cover it. There are so many fake videos coming out from Jon Stewart, especially pictures and all, and a bunch of other people just flooding it in this drought of information. And you really have to have a discerning eye, because what was it, Mike, when we saw the drones in the past? They were out there. It was covering us. Before I get on to this, Daryl, you did have your hand up for a second before you put it back down.
Well, I was going to say, he did say something about Amelia Earhart. He said if Amelia Earhart were up here in the gallery, you Democrats would have stood up and applauded for her.
Yeah. Yeah, sense of humor. I gotta say that's a good one. Anyway, so getting back to the drones. Before we jump onto the stuff that's coming from Christopher Sharp, reports out of the UK, we got to cover what's happening here on the homeland. I've got some great videos to go ahead and watch. Got some fun ones. We'll get to it. But all right, where in the hell is this? Let's get back to it again. All right, coming from our friend over at Skywatch Signal. Doesn't matter where the videos are coming from, who's saying it, folks. All I have to say is you need to take anything you're seeing out there with a grain of salt. Flat out. If someone is saying the drones are back, you need to see videos going, not from one person, but like 10, 15, 20 people like we saw when it was happening last time, right, Mike?
That's right, in real time. Meaning there's wide coverage of it, and it isn't somebody just putting up one AI slop video on the internet. I agree. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, we're not getting that, so... That means it's so dead that they have to put bullshit like this up there just to get someone's attention.
I know, but let's get to it here. So it's happening again. The New Jersey UFO outbreak underway. New UAP footage. It's happening again after a short lull in activity. It's been almost a year, well over a year, my friends. UAP sightings are cropping up in vast numbers all over New Jersey. Here is the latest news and the latest footage. There we go. I fixed that. Hey, Mike?
Yep.
Yeah. So let's get to it. This is a clip. I think it's from somewhere on YouTube. So let me just be safe on this. I'm going to go ahead and throw up the fair use along the top just to be safe. Let's go ahead and play this video clip. Okay, first off, the video with the beams going up and down. This is something we never saw the last time the drones were around, right?
Right.
Brand new behavior. So if they're back, they've got a new game going on. Things appearing, disappearing. Yeah, it's just one of those things you just want to take a look at. But we have to show these things for the main reason people are putting stuff out there. They're going ahead and saying, hey, this is going on. But again, there's just a lot of fake videos out there that if we don't cover it, people are going to see these things. Even some friends of mine who work in New Jersey, live over in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
And they saw this and sent a link out, said, oh my God, look, they're back again. Because people are excited about what's going on. They want to believe versus you need to discern what's going on. First of all, if we see something going on, if you haven't seen that kind of behavior before, that probably means it's fake.
Right.
Because by now we've got a good idea of what UFOs are out there, what they look like and don't look like, especially what went on with the whole drone scenario.
Right. But we got a super chat from Brendan England.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Brendan. I appreciate that. Oh, I don't have the sound effects up for that one. I want to go ahead and thank Brendan for that super chat starting it off tonight. Yeah. Cheers, Thomas and Mike. Mike, absolutely. Oh, boy. You know, it wasn't a bad winter when there's already a housefly in the house on March 2nd. Where the fuck did that thing come from? It survived the winter. Absolutely. But yes, thank you very much, my friend, all the way from the Australia. Yeah, you got some stuff going on there too, my friend. So anyway, we've got the video. You've seen it out there. Let's go ahead and let's just do a quick poll of the audience. Let's see, get back to here. Let's go ahead and just start a quick survey. I want to start doing these really quickly and easily. NJ drones are back. Hell yeah. No way it's a fake. All right. Oh, I need to get that sound effect package up and going because I need to play those sound effects. God damn it. My fucking search button disappeared on me today. And I didn't reboot the machine. I probably should have, but I didn't. Come on. Where the fuck is... There it is. All right, let's go ahead. And I will remember to turn this sound effect off when it's done, folks. Let's see where our audience goes. All right, let's go ahead and... Where the fuck is the button to start the poll? All right, our first poll of the evening is up, folks. What do you think? New Jersey drones. Are they back? Heck yeah. Or hell yeah. Or no way. What do you think, guys? You know, Mike, I think if we see this, we're going to need to get, multiple videos out there before we're all going to jump in. But if you look at this, we're at a 45 to 55% poll. That's kind of interesting.
Close, isn't it?
Yeah, Kyle, your thoughts?
Are you asking that based on the Mylar balloon with the laser flashing up at it?
The one this is the one that I was playing just right now.
Yeah, that one.
That's supposedly a new video out of New Jersey.
Yeah, that's a laser hitting a Mylar balloon or something. That's
But it's from directly underneath it. It's different.
Yeah.
Or it's AI or something out there. If we go ahead and take a look, let me move this back again, bring this up and see where we're at. Wow, we are at a 46-55. 45-55. Syrup, your thoughts?
Yeah, so there's drones popping up in New Jersey, or is they're just like that video?
No, it's one video, one person going ahead and showing something, saying the drones are back, but that's all we got, Syrup. Remember when the drones were out there, we were getting videos from so many people, from so many different angles, from so many different incidents. If the drones were truly back, we'd have tons of videos out there, wouldn't we?
Local news.
Yeah. Absolutely. On that note, let's go ahead and shut down this first poll. We got 72 votes in. You know what? Still almost a clear almost 10-point lead. 46% says hell yeah. 54%, 45, 55. I will take that. Let me go ahead and... Where's the button to fucking end the poll? Let's go ahead and do that. All right. The audience has spoken. I will remember to turn the sound effect off. There we go. Thank you, audience, for going ahead and participating in this one. We'll try and do this with everyone that we've got going forward. All right. So, Mike, we've got this one out of the way. Let me go ahead and get back to you in here so I can get to our next story. We got a bunch of things to go ahead and cover today. Yeah. At least we've got something to talk about.
Yep.
We're not going to get into that one yet, or I'm trying to get into. All right, so there is another video coming in from ProPixel Video Analysis and Research. This guy's good.
He's good.
He covers his stuff. He comes out and saying this is over Utah on Sunday, November 2nd, 2025. minimum altitude 12,000 feet above sea level, possible Tic Tac class UAP, and they're using a Sony FX3, which is the same camera we use for this show. It's not as good as the A7V for a sensor, but it's got a good sensor for getting video. And you know, it's interesting. We've got this object out here, Mike, and you can really see it. It's there. Come on. But it's like rotating and spinning in place, which is a different behavior than we've seen before, but it kind of reminds us of a Tic Tac in some places.
Right. And we got another super chat.
Holy cow. This one comes in. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate the super chats. Our next one for a super chat is coming in from Gizmo. To the woofs, Thomas. Thank you very much. $69.99 Canadian. Thank you very much, Gizmo. Holy cow. I know things are tough in Canada these days. We appreciate your love and support for what we do here. Hopefully you're not in the dead zone, we'll call it now, in British Columbia for what's going on. Our hearts and love is for you guys up there in Canada. You're going through a lot of shit. We feel for you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that super chat. And also another thank, of course, to Brett in England for that super chat earlier. Thank you much, folks. All right, so let's get past this particular post, Mike. We're not going to show that one yet. No, not that one yet. I got a bunch of stuff. All right, this one is interesting, talking about Lou Elizondo. New Paradigm Institute. That's Danny Sheehan's group.
Right.
They partnered with Ubiquity University, right? Where you can go ahead and get, pay $5,000-$10,000 or something like that and get a master's degree in ufology.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one of the courses that they offer.
Which I don't recommend. But anyway, so protect UAP whistleblowers. Important, folks. No one should be silenced for telling the truth, especially those who risk their careers, reputations, and personal safety to report what they know about UFOs, UAP, and related government programs. This is Tim Burchett for the last couple of years has had a simple one-pager.
That couldn't pass.
A one-pager. And he can't get people to co-sponsor with him, can't get this thing to pass, but that's all you need is a simple one-pager. But now it looks like New Paradigm Institute's getting the idea. So across 3 years and multiple hearings, the UAPDA has failed because it's too much at once. Anytime you give something too big that people can't get down their throat, they're going to fucking choke on it, right, Mike?
That's right.
Yeah. Then the message has been consistent. Current whistleblower protections are failing in practice. I mean, if we could get whistleblower protections,
more people would come forward.
I haven't said the F word too many times, have I? A couple times. Yeah. Sorry about that, Tank Girl. Either way, we are rated for adults. Just so people know, if I do say it here and there, it's okay because we are rated for adults. Kids under 18, nope, we're not allowed to be, we don't market to them because sometimes we do say that word. So let's get to it. So as a result, dozens of additional individuals with firsthand knowledge of UAP programs remain silent. Like Lou Elizondo could say a lot more. David Grush could say a heck of a lot more. Dr. Eric Davis could talk a lot more. We could get James Lukatsky. He could freaking let the cat out of the bag, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So not because they lack information, because they lack protection, because even Lukatsky said, if I don't lie about this, didn't he reference the execution clause?
Yes, he said that if he violates the NDAs, he could be prosecuted and they could hold him for treason.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
No, enough
because
is enough.
They can execute you for that, yeah.
No, I know. They've talked about doing it behind the scenes, but sometimes when you sign an agreement, you're kind of screwed. So let's get through this. The New Paradigm Institute has drafted the Enhanced UAP Whistleblower Protection Act of 2026 to close the enforcement gaps, prohibit retaliation, and ensure safe, lawful testimony before Congress. Best idea ever. Don't put it in there as one piece of legislation. Break it up into parts and get it to go through. Because, Mike, we haven't had meaningful UFO legislation to get into Congress for 3 years, ever since they started trying to push that UAP Disclosure Act year after year. We've been stalled.
Yeah, it's been dead. After David Grush testified under oath back in July 26th, 2023, we haven't really moved forward from then to now.
Do you think that could have been part of the plan, just talking about it?
What do you mean?
Meaning they know that it's not going to get through, but they're going to keep on trying just to stall this from moving forward. You know, Colonel Carl Nell, while a lot of people haven't acknowledged, he was the main author of that document. He was, and he was the one who always been pushing, we can't have catastrophic disclosure. If we do that, the world's going to end.
Right. He believes strongly in controlled disclosure, which is why he put those diagrams up at the Seoul conference,
right,
of the time frame of what he expects it will take to get pieces of disclosure out bit by bit.
Controlled disclosure, you mean no disclosure.
Right. That's right.
Exactly. So let's take a look at this 1 minute video coming across from Danny Sheehan and crew and where they're going to take us. Here we go, folks.
Americans with first-hand knowledge of deeply classified UAP programs are facing threats, retaliation, and career-ending consequences for coming forward. That's not how accountability works, and it's not how democracy works. If we want transparency, we must protect the people willing to tell the truth. Congress has the authority to strengthen and enforce meaningful UAP whistleblower protections. Protections that allow witnesses to speak safely, testify publicly, and submit evidence without fear of reprisal. If you believe in transparency, accountability, and the rule of law, now is the time to act. Contact your representatives. Ask them to support enhanced UAP whistleblower protections. Visit newparadigminstitute.org and take action today.
Mike.
Yes.
Great message, great delivery. But I've got to ask the question. Why did they use a horrible AI voice for the video?
They didn't have to.
I know.
There's more than enough people in Danny's
There's
camp
more than
that
enough
could have
people
done
out
this.
there, good voice actors, people who've got a good voice and delivery, who could have really give it the oomph it needs. Well,
yeah, that's true.
at least they're trying. We love Danny. We love what they're trying to do. Blower protections is something we really need, and I definitely hope we get it because it's an important piece.
It'll be a key part of having people within the government come forward and provide information to us like David Grush did.
Yeah.
And without it, we're going to get the drought that we've been in since 2023. You had Representative Burlison and Representative Luna, the head of the task force, when they were planning on doing the last UAP hearing, they were complaining there's no witnesses that want to come forward. Nobody.
Or anyone who's worth anything. But, Mike, I did start another poll out there. This is a pretty good one. A quick one. Hey, Google, set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds, please.
All right. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Starting now.
All right, we've got another poll going for our audience really quick. Where do you sit with this? Mike, look at this. I don't think I've seen this before. 37 votes in so far, 100% saying necessary, that we do need enhanced whistleblower protections. This seems like, based on what our audience is taking us, we're 96.4%. Again, really high. This registers really high with the community. This seems like something that needs to be really pushed for.
It does. But like you pointed out earlier, Representative Tim Burchett, he tried on his own and it failed. Not a good sign.
Right.
But the audience, it supports this on both sides of the aisle, I'm sure.
And I think actually maybe it was, who was it? Luna and Burlison came forward and said they would co-sponsor it, but it's never went anywhere. But this shows there is an opportunity to go ahead and get out there and give the protections we need with just 23 seconds left to go, audience, in this quick round of a survey. Yeah, Mike, we're at 95% to 5%. I don't think it's going to change much at all.
No, because everybody wants whistleblower protections for government witnesses to be able to come forward safely and securely.
All right, with 66 votes in, I'm going to take this and the poll exactly where we've got it right now. And I want to thank everybody for participating in this one. Turn off that. And yes, final answer from the audience. Whistleblower protections necessary. At 95%, I would have to agree on that one. Because if we want really good people to come forward with really good information, you know, we're going to need a way to protect them from the military-industrial complex.
Yeah. Well, these people, these whistleblowers, we know that a majority of them also have families, wives, children, parents, and they don't want to be put unduly at risk if there aren't any protections in place for them, which I can understand.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, jumping on to our next story, coming from Christopher Sharp earlier today, local residents in Brandon, just outside of the Lakenheath, and I believe that's the airport where they've got our long-range bombers, our B-2, our B-1s, and potentially our B-52s can sometimes be over at Lakenheath, but they haven't been there now because the UK said if you're going to use them over in Iran, you can't have them take off. They also got the boot today from Spain with Rota and another military site that's going into it. So they are reporting drone activity again. One person writes, very similar to the drones that were supposed to be from Russia last year, but we know who's responsible, don't we? Yes, it's from Russia. Another person added a video while we're just getting a screenshot from it. You know, Mike, seeing the stuff go on again. Oh, thank you. The music is on. I appreciate it. It's done. All right. Let's see if we can get into the relevant. Is there a link to the videos in here? No. But the thing is, interesting seeing that we've got the drones back in United Kingdom. Now, last time, Mike, when we actually got down to the what do you call it? Nuts and bolts. When we had these drones in United Kingdom last time, everything pointed towards Russia. Nothing pointed towards a non-human intelligence with these drones. Yeah. Interesting thing. Matt, go ahead.
Might have an opportunity to see one because if they're floating around the UK, they might actually get shot down this time.
Yeah, they do have a new advanced directed energy weapon for trying to bring these things down. That actually at the end of the last time we had the drones going on, that they actually started deploying this new technology. Now that technology was also moved from the United Kingdom to Denmark or somewhere where they had the issue, or Norway, going where they had a bunch of drones going on for a long period of time, potentially coming in from Russia that was happening for a period of time, and all of a sudden it just vanished. So let's move on from that one. All right, so moving on to our next story we've got going on here that's on our title card of things we're going to go ahead and cover. Someone let her in. All right. Hillary Clinton is asked about UFOs by Representative Eric Burlison during the Epstein deposition. Let's get into it and let's see what Hillary has to say. You know, Mike, the way she's doing up her face, the way she's getting there, do you think she could be preparing herself to run for president against our current VP potentially? I think we lost Mike. I think so. Let's go ahead and play this clip and see where Hillary takes it for us.
Mr. Burlison has a few questions for you.
So I'm going to begin with some lighthearted, different questions, and you're welcome to ignore them or if you want to. But while I have you here, I just have to ask. So, when your husband was president, it was Lawrence Rockefeller had an effort to try to disclose UFOs, UAPs. When you were running for president, John Podesta publicly stated that you would disclose these files if given the chance, if you had been president. Are you pleased to see that these files may be disclosed finally?
I am pleased. As I say, I think they have to be carefully scrutinized so that no national security information is disclosed. But this is an issue of real importance to so many people, and I think whatever can be disclosed should be disclosed.
Was there a program that specifically that was referencing that you were aware of?
I was not. As you mentioned, John Podesta, who was one of my advisors, was deeply interested in the issue, and if I had been elected, I certainly would have listened to his advice.
There you go. She's interested in it. She wants to go ahead and see where it could possibly go. They're asking her about it. And, I guess if we would have had Hillary back at that time, maybe we would have gotten disclosure. But, Daryl, what do you think?
Yeah. Hillary, I don't know, man. Where my head goes with this is if I were Burlison, I'd probably next subpoena Podesta. I mean, why not go straight to the horse's mouth?
That's true. It sounds like a good next step for the UAP Secrets Task Force. They could bring in Podesta, and you think he would come in willingly?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe his friend Hillary here could give him a little push.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't believe that it's that political, that the alien topic is that political, that one side has to be the side that brings it out and the other one.
It's supposed to be bipartisan, right?
Right.
Mike, you back?
You might ask Podesta.
See, he's unmuted himself. Maybe not. You never know what's going on. So let's get into more of it here. All right. So, we've got.
Oh, by the way, running for president, Hillary, 78. She's 78 now. So she'd be the oldest person to ever swear to be president at 82.
So she's only a couple years behind Trump.
Yeah.
But she's had a lot of face work done lately, just not on her hands.
She would be sworn in as president at like 82 years old or something, right? So.
Yeah, well then let's go ahead and throw that out. Throw that baby out with the bathwater. I think.
Will say somebody. I don't know if you ever listened to Two Way, Mark Halperin, Two Way. He has some reporters that are always behind the scenes that are on there, and they all said that she looks 10 years younger in person. When she's on camera, she looks horrible. But I thought that was interesting because even the Republican guy that was in the room was like, yeah, she does. She looks like she's 10 years older in person or younger in person.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to this next one. I got another clip here. Oh, yeah, she did ask about the UAPDA. We got a 33-second clip here. Interesting how we're getting a watermark right in the center of the frickin' video from GOP oversight. Even they're doing watermarking these days. Good for them to maintain credit. So let's see where this one goes.
I'm done. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Next is Representative.
This is sort of off subject, but didn't you all require in the latest defense authorization that the UFO information has to be
out.
What?
They ripped it out. They killed it.
Oh, I thought that had gone through.
That was my amendment, and it got ripped out.
Oh, okay. Well, you've just.
Wait a minute. Burlison just said that's his amendment. This is the third year it went through, Mike.
I didn't hear him say it was his amendment.
No, here.
Oh, I thought that had gone through.
That was my amendment, and it got ripped out.
Oh, okay.
That was my amendment, and it got ripped out.
I didn't know that. I heard that before.
Promises made, promises kept. No, not really. I didn't know that.
Burlison added an amendment to the UAPDA.
I didn't know that was his. No wonder why they kicked Tim Burchett out. He knew too much. Let's play some rest of this. Here we go.
Okay, well, I didn't know that, so thank you for enlightening me. Okay.
Yeah, they've been killing it.
I didn't know that.
Accepts Representative Perry from.
There we go. Interesting. Yes. Companion users left. I don't know what the fuck that is. All right, let's move on. All right, I am gonna shut the chat in the back off. There we go. Make sure we're at. All right, so coming out of that, I just want to point out the Representative Lunar Eric Burlison, our true UAP transparency champions. Mike, what the fuck happened? Why is everybody so just writing Tim Burchett out of this? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
He's been the most vocal person who's given us the best quotes to TMZ several years ago, all the time, everything. And it seems like
they pushed him out.
They pushed him out.
Got him in Doge, yeah.
But he wasn't at this hearing, was he? Or this deposition?
Doesn't matter. You give credit where credit is due, don't you, Daryl?
Well, is he quoting underneath this video? If so, he just...
No, he's not. Matt Ford put that out directly, just saying, I just want to point out that Luna and Burleson are true UAP transparency champions. No. Gotta call out Timmy. We love Tim Burchett.
Poor Tim.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for the longest amount of time.
I know. All right, so here we got a clip here coming out of UAP Global. A UFO so big, Mike, they built over it. We're getting a parroting of the dialogue that came from good old Ross Coulthart.
Yep.
With no proof, no nothing, no locations, no nothing to that degree. Let's go ahead and listen to it and just figure out where we're at. And just for the record, I didn't vote for Hillary once, and I never would again. Great woman, but not my president. Here we go.
Yeah. And this can be dressed like. And lately, it was brought up, and I forget half the things that the conversations that I've had, because I've had so many conversations with people. I forget what's been made public and what hasn't. But I felt comfortable saying this, but I've heard this in a secure setting, that there's an object that another country has.
Hold on. You heard it where?
And this can be dressed like. And lately, it was brought up, and I forget half the things that the conversations that I've had, because I've had so many conversations with people. I forget what's been made public and what hasn't. But I felt comfortable saying this, but I've heard this in a secure setting.
Okay, he's heard it in a secure setting. He didn't say, I've heard it in a skiff setting, right?
Correct. You're absolutely right about the wording.
So you have to look down to the actual verbiage they use. They're sly, slimy freaking people. They're Washington trolls, whether we like them or not. They're slimy.
And most of them are lawyers. So
So you got to listen to every word. In a secure setting, meaning that, hey, I am sitting in a quiet room. No one else is listening. It's a secure setting.
Right.
Not saying I heard this in a skiff, which implies something bigger, something more. So let's hear the rest of this.
That there's an object that another country has that is a friendly country to the United States, but not exactly easy to get to, and that this object is so big that they had to build a building around it. Yeah.
Not over it, around it.
And that the building has its own cover. There are people that work there that have no idea that this is even part of this building.
So, Mike, if it wasn't from the federal government and he's heard this rumor in a secure setting, why doesn't he just frickin' say where it's at? What's holding him? There's nothing to national security, right? Because it's in a different country, right?
Well, an ally.
So why?
He says it's a lie.
So why can't they bring it out?
Because there's no proof. That's why. And we know that rumors like this started from the
Greer, who could potentially say,
"Oh, a bullshit artist."
But then again, we could say about what's going on because they're not telling us.
We ain't found shit.
Right? Our two favorite quotes.
Yep, I agree.
Just get
and
off.
We know he went down to Mexico with Dr. Greer.
Stop
So
sitting
you might
on the
have heard
toilet and clogging up the pipes. Get it out there and let someone else use that toilet is all I can say. Shit or get off the pot. And if not, stop talking about it.
Yeah, don't talk about it. You took the words right out of my mouth. If you have no proof to support it, then don't say it.
Right. All right. Let me pop this out here. Right. Just had YouTube go. I haven't started doing this shit again. Let's play some more.
Add to what you guys are saying about Burlison here. He wants to go wherever this place is so that he can provide, so he knows it's for real before he says, "Hey, this is what I heard," and becomes a big joke. That's how I take Burlison as far as what his mission is right now, or because he says it's not easy to get to. I'm just wondering, is it like in Tibet? So where is it?
Antarctica?
Where is it? And it's Daryl. It's with one of the Five Eyes, allegedly.
Or it could be, and if it's difficult to get to, the only place in the world that's really difficult to get to, Mike, is Antarctica. Is there a base on top of it in Antarctica, right?
Yeah.
Or it's all just BS. What do you think, Mike?
I think it's all bullshit.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that way now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no proof to back any of this.
A bullshit artist.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, all right. We're only 43 seconds in. Let's play with the rest of this. Here we go, folks.
It's South Korea, but
I cannot say. But at the end of the day, that may be if they're going to.
If it's in South Korea, why can't he say?
It's not South Korea. It's got to be Australia down under. It's one of the most remote allies of the United States, if it's anywhere. But we already looked into this, and there's not a shred of evidence to support or back any of those claims up. None.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go.
Probably move everything else in every location that I go to, but that one supposedly they can't move.
Yeah. Well, at least then you would know what you're looking for, right? Other people might not notice it, but
right. Yeah. Well, we'll kind of know if they turn me down to say you can't go there.
Yeah.
Right. You can go to all the other places, but you can't go there. That may be the first clue.
All right, so there we go. Some people are complaining about the audio, everything else. We've got it worked out. I think we're good on that point. Refresh the stream potentially. So we've got that one. All right, we've got the full minute and 22 clip coming from Hillary over in there. Let's see if there's something we missed in the conversations. There's a bunch of people who've been clipping different pieces. This is the full minute 22. Let's see what Hillary, if there's anything we missed. All right, here we go.
Mr. Burlison has a few questions for you.
So I'm going to begin with some lighthearted, different questions, and you're welcome to ignore them or if you want to. But while I have you here, I just have to ask. So when your husband was president, it was Lawrence Rockefeller had an effort to try to disclose UFOs, UAPs. When you were running for president, John Podesta publicly stated that you would disclose these files if given the chance, if you had been president. Are you pleased to see that these files may be disclosed finally?
I am pleased. As I say, I think they have to be carefully scrutinized so that no national security information is disclosed. But this is an issue of real importance to so many people, and I think whatever can be disclosed should be disclosed.
Was there a program that specifically that was referencing that you were aware of?
I was not. As you mentioned, John Podesta, who was one of my advisors, was deeply interested in the issue, and if I had been elected, I certainly would have listened to his advice.
Well, thank you for indulgence on that.
There you go. But she also said the magic words national security before, as long as it's not a risk to national security. Now, Daryl, you've heard this many times before, or Mike, you've heard the national security term. I've just said 3 times in a row, folks. You know what that means.
Take a shot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's also just doing a really good job of passing the buck here.
Like a politician would.
I can't believe that Podesta would have had conversations with her and would have not told her what he was thinking. I mean, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Good point, Daryl.
I hear you. We got past the Clintons and everything. All right. Our next one comes to us from the illustrious Ross Coulthart, who has an interesting hashtag, right, Mike? I don't think we need to say that one right now.
No, we don't.
From well-informed source who has seen the UAP videos still being withheld by the Department of War, accessible on its highly classified SIPRNet servers. Among many others, we have videos of the following, meaning these are videos that are out there that the government is concealing from everybody. Quote, I have personally seen one on SIPR, a video from 6 years ago from the Persian Gulf, full color, daytime, of a white orb with plasma aura around it, flying out of the water near a tanker. Pilot then goes to white hot and black hot with no joy on identification attempt. Then the orb flies out, and roughly halfway through the 13-minute video, another white orb flies into the area as a pilot diverted to track the first one. And the second one hangs out for a while before zipping again. The video that ends after a few more minutes of the helo point tracking the first orb. Now, next one, I have not seen these, but they have been described to me by someone now public who was in the UAPTF. Well, that would mean either Jay Stratton or David Grush. Those are the only 2 people who came out that have been part of the UAPTF, right, Mikey?
That's right.
Yeah.
Hit the nail on the head with that.
1. A video of a black disc 3 times the size of an oil platform that was captured speeding underwater near the platform in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, I think Tim Burchett has talked about this one. He's talked about seeing things underwater that are huge, that are going too fast. Number 2, a video from a B-52, which a disc approaches, slows down to keep pace, then zips off at the end. All while the non-human intelligence looking out the windows, force fields, or whatever they call windows. This sounds like the one that Lou Elizondo was talking about, meaning we have a high-definition video, right, that you can see the occupancy of the craft.
Yeah, he talked about that.
That sounds like that one to a T, because all the while NHI looking out of the windows, force fields, whatever that they call windows. Next one, number 3. The one was described to me by a source at the ODNI. Gee, I wonder who that could be, Mike.
Oh, exactly.
We know exactly who that is. An orb playing cat and mouse with a Reaper drone at 30,000 feet or so up. It forces it to go evasive, then keeps pace with it, zips around it on the right wing, then zips off. All of this was 4K or better, as told me by my source, who is extremely well cleared and someone who I trust implicitly. I've also spoken to multiple TS, SCI cleared, top secret, compartmentalized information, cleared insiders who have described many similar, irrefutably anonymous videos and imagery still being withheld by the Pentagon. I'm told it's extremely unlikely this imagery will be formally released by RO, and that the public is being misled in a clear strategy of disinformation. Whether the Secretary of War and the President of the United States are aware of this deception is unclear. Let's hope they don't allow themselves or the public to be deceived. Mike, this just sounds like yet another cover-up. But the problem is what we've got going right now, that our current Secretary of War has given RO the responsibility of finding all the information that hasn't been brought out and bringing it out and giving it all to the National Archives. I don't think they're talking about these kind of videos, do you? Mike?
Yeah, right here. Sorry.
I don't think...
Question.
What was that?
What was the question?
No, I was just talking about that these videos that they're talking about, I don't think that these are the videos that someone like Susan Goff or RO is going to want to bring out for the truth.
Well, that 23-minute video with the MQ-9 Reaper drone, where a UAP object was kind of playing chicken with it,
right,
is the same video that Lou was talking about for years, but couldn't discuss it.
Really?
Yeah. And when he came on the show recently, and an audience member asked him about this exact video, Lou couldn't speak about it, but I did. And this was exactly what was occurring with this Reaper drone and the UAP that was going on.
Well, you brought this up, and Lou couldn't talk about it, but you gave the details, and he kind of agreed with what you were saying, right?
He confirmed it, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's high definition, daytime. It's very clear as far as what you're looking at on that video.
Right.
And yes, the Department of War has had this video footage buried for years now. The only thing that would probably get it released publicly is if the president was aware of it and declassified it.
But as we take a look at the board, one more time, presidential actions, we have no presidential actions to give us disclosure of UFO data, do we?
No, not currently. We do not. Not yet. Hopefully he gets around to it. But I have a feeling with what's going on in Iran, and that's far from over with at the moment, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, Thomas. Unfortunately, we're going to be detoured because of the geopolitical issues going on in the Middle East.
Hold on a second.
The good news is that if you remember on the last show, we were talking about with the ongoing conflict, is the Sea of Hormuz clear and safe for the oil that moves through it daily? And by Monday, which is today, we would have known if there's any issues going on there. It would have crashed the markets.
Yeah.
It didn't. So we know everything in regards to that right now is basically status quo.
All right, hold on a second here, Mike. Hey, Google, set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds. All right, Mike, we've got another...
1 minute and 30 seconds.
Starting now. All right, we have another survey up for our audience right now. We will get an executive order on UFO disclosure, meaning that we're going ahead and taking a look at what's going on here. And, you know, it's missing. And it's not like they weren't planning on it. Maybe they weren't, but it doesn't take long to get that executive order in place, but we don't have it. So what do you think, audience? Mike, look at this. We are frickin' 50-50.
Wow.
Yeah. Daryl, your thoughts on the numbers where we're saying, it's right on it.
That's pretty interesting. 47 votes. How many people are in the audience?
We've got 51 votes in right now, and in the
people. Come on, people.
Come on, people, vote! God damn it, son of a bitch!
Oh shit, I forgot to vote.
Better vote.
Oh no, I already voted. There.
I can't get this down here. Get this down. All right. So right now we currently have 255 people watching the show. This is your chance, folks. But I know that I have to say, if you're on a television set, are you watching this on a TV, Daryl, as well?
Yes.
Can you vote on a television set?
No, you cannot.
No, you can't. So we're missing, 50% of our audience, like you, watches on a television set as well. So
I got my phone.
You got your phone. There you go. When we got to 74 votes, and can we get a bit higher? Are we going to get an executive order on UFO disclosure? Well, we've got a 10% lead, if not more, coming no. Wow. Mike, why do you think that answer might be no?
Because the audience is well aware that...
I need to go look at the moon. Handle this for a second. Something's going outside. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, what happened with the drone flap, where he vowed as soon as he took office he would reveal the truth to the public, that came and went, and he did no such thing. So people have every right to believe that even though he talked about declassifying the UAP files, it doesn't guarantee anybody that he's going to write and sign an executive order to do exactly that. Probably not. So I would side with the audience on this one. I agree with them because it kind of feels that way. Look, I said that during his State of the Union address the other day. That was over 2 hours in length, one of the longest ones ever done. He had every opportunity to mention anything about disclosure at that time, even when he made Space Force and during his first term. That could have been a perfect segue into the disclosure issue. And instead, he never mentioned it. So I can understand why the audience would feel that way. They're not wrong. This is something that he could just ignore and focus solely on the Iranian issue and the regional war that seems to be sparking over there with multiple countries, not just us, Israel, and Iran. So that's going to keep things going probably for some time. There's not going to be an immediate resolution on this. And to add insult to injury, Trump recently said that he hasn't ruled out boots on the ground in Iran. And I got to tell you that if we end up going into Iran with boots on the ground, that's going to make it much more complicated and drag it out almost indefinitely, which I don't think anybody wants or needs at this point.
Mike, I just gotta say you're great, man. You're you're filling up the time. That is some good work right there.
Oh, thanks for noticing that. I appreciate it, Darryl.
Man, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is, but it's also true.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I got pulled out because there was the full moon's out. There's going to be a total eclipse of the moon across all of North America. It's going to be starting at 3:30, 3 o'clock a.m. Pacific. That would be 6 a.m. Eastern, which means it's still going to be dark, maybe out at that particular point in time, but it's going to go to a complete red moon. Full, where it's completely blocked. You get that full blood moon, you would call it, and that would be at 3:30 a.m. Pacific or 6:30 a.m. Eastern.
Right.
So yeah, and I've got some cool pictures. If I can figure out a way how to get it across, I can. I want to share with everybody because it was really cool seeing this stuff.
Hey, that is cool.
Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Thomas, I sent you something over the weekend. It's a link about the orbs that they're seeing. There's some kind of military technology that we have before we start our missile strikes. It looks like an orb, and it goes up over the central area where we're going ahead and doing our stuff, and it looks like something that's for targeting, Matt, not so much as something that is an actual UFO. All right, got that done. Let's see if I can get to it. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Now that I'm back, sorry, I just ran outside. I'm bringing this all together. I want to share this with the audience because you deserve to see it. All right. So this is what I just pulled off. You've got the moon going up. It's a full moon.
It's off in the pine trees and everything, just trying to get something to go ahead and show it. There's another one, a little bit more dithered. This one's more centered. So this is what I just got pulled out with. I wanted to go ahead and share with the audience because it just looks cool. A lot of cool, tall pine trees in the area here around Seattle. So there we go. Yeah, and thanks for that info, Matt. I appreciate it. Mike, where does this leave us? I think we've got the poll going here that I need to go ahead and end, and will we get an executive order on UFO disclosure? 50% of our audience has said no. 43% of our audience has said yes. We have 95 people in on this one. Thank you for everybody for going ahead and participating in the poll. Mike, we always tell people on Disclosure Tonight, we don't want to be Debbie Downers. No. We don't want to go ahead and tell people, oh my God, it's not going to happen. The river's too wide. The current's too fast. The water's too cold. We'll never make it. No. Just, it would be a longer exposure would work. I just went out there and hit the button really quick. But you look at what's going on. You have to take everything we're going through with disclosure, right? And just take it with a grain of salt, because something might happen or something might not happen, right?
Yeah, but I think for us and the audience, this poll shows that.
Yeah, it does.
That he fucked everybody with the drone flap. And a track record is an indication of anything.
Well, let's just say he went along with what his advisors told him.
Which went against the promises he made to the American people before that he would disclose the truth about the drones.
Yeah, because he said there's no reason why they can't go ahead and tell the American people what's going on in the skies. I know what's going on. He rattled off some information about saying they're coming out of, they're launching from somewhere and coming in and going over it. It all made sense.
Right. But he never followed through with his campaign promise on this. And
right, but again, if you listen to what he said, not trying to defend him, but if you listen to what he actually told the public, they don't want me to talk about this. Who's they, right?
Right.
He said they don't want me to talk about this. Everything's fine.
No cause for alarm. Wanted to calm everybody down without telling them anything about what was actually going on.
Yeah, just like there's Mike, just like there's nothing going on ever. There's nothing with disclosure. It's all fake. There's no UFOs.
Right. All you have to do is ask Susan Goff. She'll tell you.
Well, yeah, of course. That's why we brought her in.
Oh, great. Lovely.
Oh, I changed back to that view just to be able to bring her up because... Yeah, Trump is busy right now. But the thing is, going back to the drones and everything, the people around him said, don't tell the people. And I will just go ahead and say this, and I'll say it on the record again. That was our drones. We were trying to find something or someone. Something was going on before the inauguration was going to take place, potentially at the inauguration. Because they had special nuke-sniffing helicopters flying around D.C. days before the whole drone thing happened. They're afraid something got in through the port, Mike, or through the ports, and was making its way to D.C. Because if you remember how it was going, the way we were seeing the drones, where they were moving through, it's just like we had the stuff going in the western part of the United States, on the eastern side of the Rockies. We had all of those drones coming in all the time. They were talking about even large drones coming in and other drones flying out of it, and they were also going in a search pattern looking for something autonomously, scanning.
It's also advanced technology that the U.S. government has that the public doesn't know anything about, and he was told that he can't disclose that.
Yeah, but have you heard about the new drones we've got now?
Publicly?
Yeah, the ones they've talked about, they got the ones from Iran, right?
Uh-huh.
And they reverse engineered them. And they made them really cheap. And I would say Lucky Palmer is the one who made the cheap drones, because he talks about making cheap stuff with things that are off the shelf.
cheap is not the same as
$20,000 a piece versus how many $1 million are they paying for a Tomahawk?
Right.
And but remember how they have a special version of Starlink that they've launched for the federal government?
Yes.
Every one of those drones has a complete uplink going through the government's version of Starlink. And they've got full first-person video of people. They can actually pilot this stuff like it's a freaking video game and take it right through someone's window and blow them up.
Yep. You're right. So these are the advancements.
Well, it's advancements, but it's taking the China mentality. How cheap can we make it? And we need to make it good. And trust me, they make really good stuff, and they make it really cheaply. Daryl?
Yeah, I was just going to say on the accuracy of flying the drones. The newer drones now, I'm trying to remember who makes these things, but you can tell it to fly at a certain level, and you can tell it to fly through a forest. So
right.
It'll try and maintain that level as best it can, but it will make it to whatever destinations you want to go through.
So you're giving it a course to go through, but there's artificial intelligence that's out there
using AI
that helps it navigate on its way to get there. It's not just flying on a straight line. It can recognize what's around it and on the fly locally on the device, go ahead and figure out its trajectory, how to get around this stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes it idiot-proof.
Oh, yeah. All right, I need to get back to where I was at a second ago. Yeah, happy frickin' Monday, everybody. I think we're about to part. We've covered. I'm going to make sure I've got all the UFO stuff taken care of. All right, we got one more. We've got one more. Well, we've got an update about Jake Barber. From Ross Coulthart.
Of course.
In his luxurious hotel room.
Right.
Be nice.
I'm not saying anything.
No. That's okay. We love you, Mike. You know, we're honest here.
Yeah, I know.
And it gets us in trouble.
I know. I'm not going to say anything. It's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, as I said, Ross Coulthart provides new developments on Jake Barber. Yeah, the Eggman. Excellent, my friends. Outlining the factors obstructing his appearance before congressional investigators. Oh, wow. I did not know the congressional investigators were staying clear of Jake. Did you, Mike?
No, I didn't.
Are you surprised?
No, because their bullshit detectors are probably screaming off the hook.
Oh, a bullshit artist.
I know, I haven't played those in a while, but sometimes you need to.
When appropriate, yes.
All right, here we go. Let's play it. Let's be happy.
I would love to bring Jake back on for another interview, but this comes back and people forget this. You guys didn't rattle the cage enough with Congress. We didn't get the UAP disclosure legislation that would allow contractors like Jake Barber to give evidence. This is the issue. I say this time and time.
Wait a minute. Why would the UAPDA allow Jake Barber to give evidence?
It wouldn't. There's no whistleblower protections in place, even if it passed. There's no need to know authorization given. And you don't have anyone declassifying any of that information. So, no, it wouldn't.
We're missing the Greer Act, my friend. Here we go.
Yeah.
Time again, people don't understand. It's not just Jake Barber. Congress is not providing the protections necessary for people who work in contractor positions for, say, private military contractors or private aerospace companies like, did I say Northrop Grumman? Or Lockheed Martin. I mean, simply, those people don't have the protections that would allow them to go to Congress and give evidence. It's absolutely essential that they get those protections.
So that brings up an interesting point. If the individuals are working for contractors, right, Mike?
Yeah.
And they have non-disclosure agreements that are going to be watertight between that company and the individual, it's not going to be as nasty as what the government has, where we're going to freaking kill you with the execution clause. But it'll be nasty financially. It'll ruin them. Where it gives them the ability to go ahead and do whatever they can in court with whatever financial penalties are available to them because of the seriousness of the information that they are disclosing.
Right. So that would mean that there's going to be no new legislation moving forward?
No. This is just different. We've been talking about people who are in the government being protected to bring the information out. But what Ross is bringing up is saying this is about people who may have entered non-disclosure agreements outside of the government with military contractors, but the people are not contracting with the military. They're contracting from the person and this other entity, with whoever it is. Lockheed Martin, etc., like he mentioned.
Right. Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin.
So,
the usual suspects.
The people that make all the good toys,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, there are toys. Absolutely.
I love this one. Founded at Value Village. It's actually a maquette of the B-2. $5. This was given away to the people who actually worked on the B-2. Best find ever. So, all right, let's let Ross play a bit more. Here we go.
And they're not getting it. So I don't know what. I haven't asked Jake recently whether or not he'd be prepared to give evidence. I doubt he'd be prepared to give evidence in a public hearing. Jake's a patriot. He's done a lot of covert work for the United States. It was very, very uncomfortable for him to appear on News Nation and speak candidly to me about what he knew, about what he did. First-hand knowledge, though, of the retrieval program. And I think he's entitled, frankly, to be extremely skeptical about Congress. One of the things I get from a lot of people I talk to in the program is, do these guys in Congress really give a fuck?
But Mike, I'll be nice.
Because I don't think that.
I'll be really nice. We know that disclosure cannot come from anybody in Congress. They don't have even if every single person in the House of Representatives and the Senate all came together and they all miraculously signed something into law and gave it to the president and he would sign it, that would even do anything. It could not even move the needle, let's be honest.
Right.
I'd love it to.
Yeah,
but in a real world, this is all coming out of hidden shit that's in the executive branch. That even the head of the executive branch, so and so, the president doesn't actually even have complete power over what's going on within his own branch of the government. It's that secret part that just maintains itself from administration to administration, bringing people in, replacing them as necessary so it continues to operate. But it's within the executive branch where all this shit is controlled from.
Like Susan Gore, who has been there regardless of whoever was president or whatever political party is in power.
Right, but she's controlled by that entity within the executive branch because it oversees everything from the actions in the DOE to the CIA to the DOD, et cetera, et cetera. There's one central command. There's always a central command to everything.
Right.
Yeah.
These
all right.
are the gatekeepers.
Yep. So that gets on to Ross. All right, let's get on to the next one. We'll leave that. All right. Let's have some interesting videos here, Mike. This one is, Israel's really good with hacking things.
They are.
You remember what they did with the pagers?
Yes.
They intercepted them and they all got delivered to all the military people. And then at one time they went and they set off the signal and it caused all the pagers at the same time to all blow up with the people who were wearing them.
Yes, we covered that story. It was a good story.
Long-term hack. Here's the next one. They'd hacked the monitoring stations of all the major military sites that were out there. Hacked them.
Right.
More importantly, their video feed.
Right.
So this is when the attacks were first starting and things were going on. Just watch what happens in each location. Another one gone. Another one gone. Another one gone. Whoops. It kind of happens. Now, I've got something at the start of this along these lines. It's interesting. All right, this one goes out there. So, Iranian state media, she's saying no bomb can reach us because Allah can protect us.
صدای متجاوز به خاک وطن، صدای متجاوز به صدای حق و حقیقت است. آنچه که ملاحظه کردید، صدایی که شنیدید، فضای غبارآلود استدیو.
Whoops.
I'm pretty sure that was from the first.
Was that the first one?
Yeah. But,
all right.
But nonetheless, it is kind of funny.
It is.
Like Carol Burnett trying to run out of the office from when she was working for Mr. Hooper or whatever his name was.
Oh, God.
Mr. Wiggins.
Mr. Wiggins.
We got to get out of here, Mr. Wiggins.
All right. Oh God. I'm okay. This is the Enforcer tab. I didn't realize I'm here, but yeah, let's get to it. The Enforcer, great channel over on X. Let's see what we have latest going on. What's happening over there? Significant explosion occurred at the American base in Erbil following the interception of Ukraine drone. Boom. One more time. Sounds like our music. All right, next one. Footage of an American SeaRAM shooting down an incoming Iranian attack drone over northern Iraq this morning. No audio on this one. Here we go. Watch it again. Interception. Kaboom. All right, next one we've got is a UAV intercepts the Erbil, Iraq. Similar to the last one, I thought, but it may be a little bit from a different perspective, a little bit closer. Rewind it again right at the start. Kaboom. All right, next one. Not that one. All right, next one is coming an hour ago. Drones conducting attacks on Erbil. More of them coming to the airport. Where is that? I need to get the audio down on that. All right, here we go. Let's see what's going on. All right, not that one there. And I've got a bunch of other ones that I've seen throughout the days. It's interesting things. Have you been keeping your eyes on this as well, Daryl?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's hard not to.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Let's see. All right, so
minute by minute over there.
So we've got high resolution imagery taken by Vantor Tech today, showing the damage to two separate strikes. The access points to the underground NASA enrichment plant, which, although not operational post 2025, strikes may still go on. So we can see of before today is on right here. So we can see the personnel entrance here and here has been completely destroyed. And then at this point, we've got the vehicle entrance to get underground. We've completely hit that site once again. Where Where are my bookmarks again? Sorry about this. We'll get there. All right. This one is, so I have footage of the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia after a drone impacted the compound. Let me bring that one up. This is from today. Let's go ahead and play this. That's not the one I was looking for. Let's go on to the next one from here. Saw those blow ups a couple times. All right, Mike, this one's interesting. I caught this one. There has been a series of quote unquote mysterious earthquakes that have been recorded near one of America's most secretive bases used for nuclear testing. Are we going ahead and starting to shake the tree a bit more? Remember, Trump didn't sign the treaty with Russia that prevented us from going ahead and doing additional nuclear tests. Daryl, have you heard about that one?
I haven't heard that they've been doing it, but it makes sense that they are doing it because Trump said we are going to do it.
Right.
So not a big surprise. But you're thinking, are they setting the trap, or are they?
No, it's not setting a trap. It's just more things are falling into play, meaning that we've got this war effort that's going on. At the same time that's happening, we're also ratcheting up our testing of new technologies, potentially for war. It would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
not that we wanted to.
In a utopian sort of a world that I guess I could be living in at some point, and be like, well, maybe they're doing this because didn't they say, they always say that they're attracted by nuclear explosions,
which would mean if that's going on, then there should be, who's ever out in the desert Northwest, Nevada, if we sent people out there to look, there might be more UFOs showing up in that area. Or even before the test, there were probably more potential UFOs showing up.
If they're nuclear, are these do they say these are nuclear tests?
Well, that's what it's being implied. We don't know because we don't have any senses going on of any increases of radiation, but they're getting a bunch of unplanned earthquakes popping up on the radar.
Interesting.
Yeah. Absolutely. What else we've got going on here? That one. All right. This one's coming out. There's been a bunch of people on X. Not just Jon Stewart. There's an initial guy over at UFO Mania who brought this out at first, saying that, oh my God, look at this, the weather. Possible U.S. Gulf offshore rig explosion and fire. Is it terrorism? The start of World War III might be happening in real time. Thank you, UFO Mania, for this awesome catch. Well done, sir. What we're talking about is a condition where you have wind coming in from two different directions at the same time that's creating a front that's creating all of this weather that's going on. It's a typical event. They see it all the time going on in the Gulf of America. However, now it's being blamed on aliens or terrorism.
So that's seriously something burning is what they're saying?
No, it's not. It's actually two weather fronts that are coming together, and where the two systems come together, it generates an atmospheric event like this. It happens all the time in that portion of the world. But they see it once, and all of a sudden, it's an anomaly. Oh my God, the world's going to end.
Better get a bunch of treats before that happens, Ferrari.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. We've got that covered. I guess we've got that one. Okay. Aro has made some promises to us. I know I'm going back a bit in time on this one. Back to UFOs for a second. John Kozlowski says the Pentagon keeps anomalous UFO cases from the public if they can't resolve them through scientific analysis. Now, this is the guy who's being put in control, Daryl, from the DOD with our dear friend Susan Goff. Yep, we know what we're talking about here. The people who want to keep all the secrets, if they don't know exactly what it is, as a matter of national security, they don't give that information to the public. So do we think this guy here and how he's going to talk is actually going to give us more for disclosure than where we've been?
We're opening up a portal, hopefully in the coming months, to allow the public to report to us. And so we're looking forward to getting more data from them, as well as local and state law enforcement. And then for the cases where it looks...
All right. May 3rd, 2025. They're going to open up a portal for the public to allow reporting and from, law enforcement and other areas. Do you think that portal is available right now, Daryl?
No.
It's not. Good to see you back, Mike.
Scientist there.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
There isn't. Yeah, it's bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Looks to be truly anomalous. We will then send it off to our scientific and intelligence partners for a very thorough analysis that generally takes on the order of months. And sometimes we don't even close those cases. We have to sort of keep them on the shelf, always looking for additional data to enrich them because the phenomenon are so perplexing.
Which means, again, we're not going to get the answers on this stuff.
No, not at all. He
Unless...
hasn't followed through on any promise that he's made so far since he came out.
Who?
Jake Barber.
Well, this isn't Jake Barber. This is John Kozlowski, the head of Arrow.
No, I know, but we were just talking about earlier Jake Barber before Kozlowski.
Well, that was 15 minutes ago, but yeah.
Well, yeah. What I'm saying is that he has never kept a promise about any claims that he has made since Ross Coulthart brought him out to the public. And as far as Kozlowski is concerned, he seems to be a protege of Sean Kirkpatrick and is following suit in Arrow with everything that Kirkpatrick has been doing. So I don't see anything changing with that, is my point.
Well, Mike, I think it comes down to is he's doing the same job that Kirkpatrick had, right?
Right, yeah.
He and Susan Goff have the same boss. She's the troll that controls him, but they both report to the same people. She is the one who makes sure, God damn it, based on her interpretation of what both of their bosses are saying, that she's going to make sure he fucking delivers and doesn't ever step over that line.
Including, it seems like, the President of the United States.
Right, but that would be that part of the executive branch that we keep on talking about that's hidden from us, that's actually above the president, but it's something that's there that continues from administration to administration. You don't know about it until you're in office, but once you're in office, you understand what's going on, or more importantly, what's not going on, because they're not going to let you know all the information because you don't need to know.
Correct. You're absolutely right about that, Thomas.
Yeah. Right, you got Ross taken care of. Then we got talked about the drones.
You don't even.
All right, so this is a good one. There's an engineer, right, who figured out there's a flaw in the way that Elon Musk would understand. And he got into a question with Elon Musk and talked about the different rockets and how the rockets that they're building in the engines and how they're venting these different things and how they're doing it on the bottom part of the initial segment of the rocket versus the next stages that go along with it. And he said that you're doing this stuff on the first layer, but you're not doing it on the second and subsequent layers. And that's causing, you've got these additional problems that you solve down here, but you haven't taken this idea and implemented up high. And when he asked him about it, Elon Musk realized what the hell this guy was saying and immediately said, we're going to go fix that. Let's see if I think this is right.
You don't even need a cold gas thruster system. You already have hot gas. But this is only for the booster, right? Yes.
You can see here, this is where he starts to think.
Although arguably, now you mention it, we might be wise to do this for the ship too. Thanks. Now we're going to fix that.
Look at that. I'm wrong. Wow. What an idea. Yeah, that's it. No, we're going to go ahead and fix that.
Thanks. Now we're going to fix that. Jeez. I'd say that's like one of the biggest improvements that we've made. It occurred to me while I was explaining it to you. I was like, wait, what are we doing? You don't even need...
That's a leader. When someone says something to you, you look at it, you don't go ahead and defend where you're exactly at. You go ahead and look at it. You're like, holy shit, that's the answer to the question. You can see how he, started going later on. He's just like his hair is everywhere because he's like running his hair through it because he realizes the information that he got and it's the change they're going to make. This is why he's a leader.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. That was a good one. You got that one. All right, this is interesting. If you haven't seen, I'm sure you have. We lost a couple F-15s, 2 or 3 of them, by our own Patriot systems because they're so good. And we got, what do you call blue on blue fire, Mike?
Yes. Friendly fire.
Yeah. And this is one of our F-15s going down in Kuwait. Whoops. Kablooey. Now, luckily, the people who were in them, they ejected just fine. And this is in Kuwait, exactly. And then after they had gone and crashed, there were people who were residents of Kuwait who went out there and thanked them for what they're doing and got them in their vehicles and took them back to the base.
It was a woman pilot.
That's a dude. He's got a beard. But there were multiple F-15s that were brought down. Yeah, the F-35s, they've all made it so far. What the hell is even that? No, I don't want to pop my Rand song. Where the hell are we at? You gotta love X. Sometimes it just takes where you're at and just throws all your stuff off to the side.
The damn algorithm.
Oh, I know. Iran attacks on Israel. Is this one real? Probably not.
There's a lot of fake news out there on X.
I know. Dramatic nighttime footage, blah, 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 text. Posted today. There we go. Could be fake, but you never know where it's going to be. Looks fake. I haven't seen stuff like this coming down in Israel yet. Let's move on from this one. Anything else we've got going on? Yeah, this one was earlier today. You were seeing something flying off to the right. We're thinking it's a laser or some other kind of system going ahead and making it. But if it's a laser, Mike, the amount of time it takes for the actual light to go across is too slow.
Right.
Think how fast light tracks at. That's not going to get there. All right.
186,000 miles per second.
Yeah. Exactly. And on that note, I think we've had a good time here tonight, Mike. Great time with our audience.
Yep. It was a lot of different topics we covered tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Absolutely. Nope, not that one. That one. All right. Let's get back to frequent and get to this one. All right, I want to thank everybody for coming out to this episode of Disclosure tonight. We appreciate all the love and support we've gotten here. Hopefully you've had a great time. Happy Monday, everybody. Yeah, not a lot of disclosure, but we did have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, didn't we, Mike?
We did. It was a good conversation.
Yeah. Remember, folks, the chat is going to be going for a while here in the back. They go for hours, so if you want to continue the conversation, follow that link at the top of the chat and join in the conversation because it continues well after the show. I want to thank Gizmo for that super chat earlier tonight. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And also Brennan England. Thank you very much. We love everybody for what you do for us here at our show. Mike, it's been great having you tonight.
Thank you. It was a fun conversation tonight, Thomas.
Absolutely. And as we usually say at the end of every episode of Disclosure Tonight, eyes open, no fear, be safe, everybody, but
go back to Party City where you belong.
And we'll catch you in the flip side. Good night, everybody. See you soon.